Hi, gorgeous. This is episode number 105, and today's guest is the wonderful Diane Forster.
Hi, this is Diane Forster. You are listening to Heart Sells, podcast with Christine Schlonski. Enjoy.
Well, I can't wait today to talk to the wonderful Diane Forster. She's really multi-talented. Before we dive in, hop on over to christineschlonski.com, find the podcast tab, and dive into the episodes. Find the show notes, the transcript, the key points, and all the resources we are talking about. And while you're over there, make sure you download your special gift, the anniversary issue, which is a collection of all the first 100 podcast titles, including the guest names, as well as the 3 key points that each and every single podcast revealed. So you want to make sure you hop on over to christineschlonski.com, go to the podcast tab, and download your free anniversary issue. And also once you're there, you might discover a special gift and surprise. So hop on over to christineschlonski.com, podcast tab, and download your personal anniversary issue. I'm so excited to have Diane on the show today. She's an award-winning inventor, a best-selling author, a TEDx speaker, a TV host, a podcaster, an international living expert, and a Re-Invention specialist. She works with clients privately and helps them to clear away mindset blocks and limiting beliefs that can actually block every single one of us from reaching our full potential in business, life, and relationships. She has a huge mission. Her mission is to see that 1 billion people who don't know their self-worth discover their true divinity, power, and purpose. Diane is also the CEO and founder of I Have Today. She is the best-selling author of I Have Today, Find Your Passion, Purpose, and Smile, finally, and Reach Your Greatness. Top thought leaders share their secrets for living an extraordinary life. Her live TV show along her podcast, I Have Today with Diane Forster, and all her other products and programs help people live enriched, empowered, inspiring lives through their transitions, they reinvent themselves. I'm so super excited to have Diane on the show, so let's dive right in. I am so excited to have you here, Diane, and I can't wait to share your awesome message with the audience, because you have this, mantra or message of I have today. And I'm so passionate about using your time wisely, following your heart, to stop just dreaming and act now, because now is all we have. So can you give us a little bit of a background, how it came that you chose that message?
Well, I'm so excited to be here, Christine. I love this forum, and I love this conversation. So I Have Today came about from my personal journey in my life. And I had a what looked and appeared to the outside world like a have-it-all life, where I was married, I had the children and the home and the dogs and the career and all of those, material things, those external things that we all dream about and, we think that are going to make us happy. And what happened for me was I was in a very unhappy marriage for over 20 years. And it was a secret that I kept hidden to the outside world. And while my former husband and I loved each other, we were not in love with each other. And the lack of passion and connection really took a toll on me, day after day, week after week, year after year, until it finally almost knocked me down and out. And I attempted suicide in June of 2011. And it wasn't anything that was premeditated. It was just one of those breaking moments. And so what happened is we got home from a barbecue with some friends. And when we got in the car to go home, the fighting started. And when I got home in the house, I went upstairs and I locked myself in the bathroom. And I took out 2 full bottles of prescription pain medication I had sitting in there from a surgery I had the year before. And I couldn't take them because they made me so sick. But for some reason, I had them. And as I had them in my hand, a force greater than me, like karate chopped my arm and knocked them out of my hands all over the floor. And I heard a voice scream in my ear, Diane, you are not ending your life this way. You need to go get help so that you can tell your story and you can help others. And it was my awakening moment, for lack of a better word. And so I threw my hands up and I said, well, you need to show me the way because I don't know how, I don't know what to do. And the next day I reached out for help from a therapist and said, I need help, I'm changing my life. And it set me down this path and this quest of personal development, self-help, spiritual awakening. And I started really opening up to my intuitive gifts. And all of these gifts and information started getting channeled and downloaded to me. And I was healing in a really profound way. And it also opened up my creativity, which I'm already a very creative person, but really dialed it up, where I was writing, and I was writing poetry and stories and coming up with ideas. And I would wake up in the middle of the night with these bursts of inspiration, and I'd have to write them down. And I woke up in August of 2013 with a poem in my head called I Have Today. In fact, it sits in my office right there, so I see it every day. And it was, I have today to love and be loved. I have today to start fresh and new. I have today to be gentle and kind. I have today to nurture my spirit, mind, and body. I have today to see things with new eyes. And it just went on and on and on like that. And when I finished writing that particular poem, I stood there and I looked at it and read it, and I said, this is way more than a poem. This is a movement. Because if I was living in this quiet hell, how many other millions of women are living this way as well? And so it flashed me back to that bathroom moment, and I said, oh, wow, this is what God was talking about in the bathroom that night. I am supposed to go out and tell my story and empower women and have them be living their truth, truly. And at the core of it all, what I discovered was I did not love myself, not truly. And so what was missing for me was lack of self-love and lack of self-worth. And so when I had that aha moment, realizing that the poem was way more than a poem and it was actually a movement, I could see I Have Today in my mind. I could see the whole brand. I could see the network and production. And so it really started anchoring in with me that I only have today. And if today is the last day of my life, when I lay my head on the pillow, if I don't wake up tomorrow, how do I want to look back on this day and my life in general and feel about it? I don't want to waste a single moment. And so that's what really started the whole intentional living movement for me, and really living deliberately, setting intentions all day, every day, being able to create from a place of feeling fear but doing it anyway, and going after my dreams, and having that mantra every day of waking up. I have a mantra every morning that I say, which is, I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And so I set the intention of the day to love my life and be open to miracles. And they keep showing up. So it's just been an extraordinary way to live.
Yeah, I just love it. I did a couple weeks ago, I did a why video on Facebook, and I talked about like my why. And one was that one of my friends committed suicide and nobody knows why. So I don't want to die with the music inside of me, right? And other things happen, but it's kind of the same message that you receive in a different way. And I think it's so, so important, especially for women. And I see that over and over and over again, that they do have challenges with self-love. Because they have challenges with self-love, often they can't show up in an authentic way that they're not really daring to show up. and that if they have a business that really has an impact on the business, sales-wise, message-wise, impact-wise, and they're not really sharing their beautiful gifts with the world. So I think us having the conversation today is such a gift. It's a gift for me to be able to share such a strong story with the audience. So how did you then create your business? Was it you had that idea, you saw the production, you saw like everything that goes with it, and you just started?
Well, no, it was a journey. And my background is I spent 32 years working in the advertising industry and the television sales industry. And I was living in Chicago at the time. And so that moment of writing the poem was in August of 2013. My twins graduated high school in the spring of 2015, so 2 years later. And while that time was going on, I was just developing more. I was creating more. I was becoming more intuitive and more creative. And the ideas, I was just really noodling with everything and writing down. I knew I wanted to write a book. I knew I wanted to speak. I knew I wanted to create my own legacy and wanted to leave corporate America at some point. And I'm also an inventor. I created a kitchen product that was, just one of those things. It was just an idea that came in my mind. It's called the Spifter, and it's a sifting spoon that you use for decorating your foods and beverages with your sugars and spices. And because I went through that process of inventing, I opened my eyes to entrepreneurship. So I had this experience in this background in advertising and media. And then I had this experience in inventing and bringing a product to market. And then I had this idea for what I wanted, my passion work to be. So it was sort of a culmination of all of those pieces put together, which the message for everyone is there are no wasted moments. Everything is teaching you clarity about something. So when my twins graduated high school, I made a bold decision. And I said, I need to live the I Have Today way. And if I don't go after what it is I want now, when will I do it? Because the time is never, ever perfect. It's not. We have to make it the perfect time. So my bold decision was I quit my corporate job at ABC and I walked away with no net. I sold my house. I was living there for 20 years. It was my children's childhood home. I sold everything in it, literally everything in it. I got them off to college, and then I moved from Chicago to San Diego because that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be at the beach. I wanted to be in California, and I really wanted to change and completely start over. So it was a building process, the 2-year building process to do that. So there was some planning in there. I knew it was coming, and my mantra was, I just want to see where this goes, but I didn't really know how. So like I did with the Spifter, inventing that, I would take one step, then the next step, then the next step, and each day followed that guidance. So it started out with hiring a business coach and getting my book written, and then creating the business of I Have Today, and then started coaching, and then I started speaking. And so it's been an evolution, and it's been one step after the other to get to where I am now, which is, it's been 3.5 years since I did my Re-Invention, and it's extraordinary. And now the momentum is really going. So I'm lucky enough to be with you today doing interviews like this. I host a TV show myself. I have a podcast as well. Both of those are called I Have Today with Diane Forster. And I'm really living very intentionally to get the message out to the masses about what an I Have Today life is, what a have-it-all life looks like, how to live intentionally, and truly to help and support women who don't know their self-worth discover their true divinity, power, and purpose. And so we wake up every day, and some days are, more enthusiastic than others, but the ultimate why, like you just said, is that I have a vision and a mission. And my mission statement is to see that 1 billion women who don't know their self-worth discover their true divinity, power, and purpose, which is huge, right?
Yeah.
So every day, if I impact one life or 100 lives or 1,000 lives, I feel on purpose and I feel on point, that I'm moving closer towards that North Star that basically was downloaded to me. I mean, it was totally given to me. It's way bigger than I am, but I move forward knowing one person can make a difference. So why not me, right?
Exactly. And I love that. So at the beginning of May, I saw an advertisement for Robert Kiyosaki's event in London. And I love Robert Kiyosaki. I love the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it really changed my mindset about money, about investing into your own property. But the point I want to make is I saw the banner and it was only guys. And I felt like that. I felt like it was so disturbing. And I thought, like, there's so many gifted, talented women, successful entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs. And on that banner, talking about money and investing, they're just guys. Like, what's wrong?
Yes.
Where are we hiding as the females on this planet? Like, why aren't there at least, 2 or 3? And I think it was like 7 or 8 people on there, but all men. So I so see the power of your message. And I love that huge goal. And the question is, why not you?
Right.
So it's a question for each and every other woman. Why not you with what you want to do, with like following your heart and creating the lifestyle, the business that you truly, truly love? Why not you? And why not now? Because we all know that there might not be a later.
Right. I speak a lot, and I was just speaking the last couple of weeks. I've had a lot of speaking opportunities, which I love to do because I love to be in front of a room of a lot of women who are seeking this higher purpose that they know is inside of them. They feel that pull and that calling to do more, to be more, to live at a higher level. And what I tell them is, only, like you just said, a lot of these speaking panels are filled with men. Where are the women? And only 22% of books are written by women. So ladies, we are being called to share our story and to speak up. And I think the difference between men and women is they grow up believing that, they're going to have a career, they so much of their self-worth is equated to their net worth. And while we're nurturers, women are, more nurturing in our way, we're such givers, and we give away our power, and we don't really feel worthy for it. I know I've certainly been guilty of this, and still am guilty of this, that I can be giving away my value and my worth for free and not really getting the value of what I should be getting. And obviously it's a work in progress, and I do a lot of mindset work around all of this. But so women are, my description and analogy is, we are all beautiful, multifaceted diamonds, and so talented in so many ways. And what we need to do is take all the facets of the diamond that we are, all the things that we're good at and skilled at and love to do and are so good at, and bring all of that forward. So the old model of the way of running a business, money mindset, creation, invention, innovation is shifting with a lot of feminine energy now, that it's not that cookie cutter way. You can express yourself and live in a way and design your life, both personally and professionally, to be anything that you want it to be. And that's so much of the work that I do with the women that I work with. They can't even believe, like, I create businesses for women all the time, and earnings potential and revenue streams that they just never even thought of, because they're just not used to thinking that way. where men are more prone and apt to think that way.
Yeah, yeah. And I love what you said earlier. I don't know if the audience has caught on to this tiny detail, which is not tiny, which is huge. You mentioned that the first thing you did, you got yourself a business coach.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And what I would love to point out and get your opinion on as well is you did not feel like you need to do it by yourself.
Yes.
And lots of women feel they have to do it by themselves. And, the journey takes so much longer and they might get discouraged or frustrated. And on the path of entrepreneurship, there is enough frustration and discouragement. So if you do it all yourself, you're just making it so much harder. So investing into a business coach or life coach or money coach or sales coach or whatever coach, just having somebody on your side that is where you want to be, that can show you what you need to do to kind of take a shortcut. I mean, you still have to do the work. What kind of value do you see in that?
I can't express this enough. The value of having a coach or coaches. I have multiple coaches actually, because here's what, my philosophy is this: you can crawl or you can soar, and it's going to take the same amount of effort, and that any money or time that you invest in yourself, it's not an expense or a cost, it is an investment, is going to catapult the trajectory of your life far beyond what you can see right now in the moment. And so learn from people who've done what you want to do, who can bypass a lot of that learning curve for you. You don't have to figure it all out yourself. Why would you? You wouldn't tackle on, repairing a refrigerator if your refrigerator broke, if you don't know anything about refrigerators, right? You'd hire the professional to do that because that's what they're skilled and versed at, right? It's no different than that. And so definitely I wanted that for me because I had never written a book before. I had never coached before. I had never, did any speaking on stage before. So I surrounded myself with people who have and who have been in that industry and done it so that, and this is what happened for me. I mean, I did a TEDx talk last year and I'm getting booked all the time to speak. I'm constantly being interviewed like I am with you today because I did that initial investment in myself. I will always have a coach. There's a reason why it's an $18 billion industry, because I can't read the label from inside my bottle. So I can't see what other people can see for me. So, and again, with a lot of the mindset work that I do, we all have to work on our mindset, and especially mindset coaches, because those negative thoughts, limiting beliefs will come back. 70% of our thoughts are negative. So no matter who you are, everyone does mindset work. Tony Robbins does mindset work. Robert Kiyosaki does mindset work. Oprah Winfrey does mindset work, because we've got to be able to tap into keeping that mindset positive. And so a coach will also do that for you too. So when you are having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, the evolution of your business, whatever the business is going to go up and down, and you are going to experience entropy. It doesn't matter what industry it is. So when you hit those lows, you've got to have the support there to say, hey, let's take a look at this. How do we want to reposition this? I know personally for my business, I've reinvented it and changed it at least 4 times already. Just redone systems, changed the operations, changed the model, because it keeps evolving. So you need a coach to help you, be by your side, stand there, hold you up, and hold you accountable. Yes.
100%. And also I think, like, even when your business goes well, somebody who's challenging you how it could even go better. Right? Because we will never catch ourselves in thinking not big enough.
Right.
Which I see a lot of women, they think like in a very modest way. And by modest, I don't mean like, you don't need to desire the Ferrari or the Lamborghini.
Right.
That's totally fine. But it's thinking like, how can you impact and support more people? I mean, your way is definitely very inspiring, like 1 billion. That's a huge number. So that's really, really amazing. And I would love for people to step up even more.
Yes.
So before we are finishing this episode, I would love to invite people to check out your website because you are sharing 4 amazing gifts.
Yes, I am.
Give us tell us really quickly how people can find you and what to expect when they sign up for the gift basket.
Okay. Well, they can find me at dianeforster.com, and that's DIANEFORSTER. And the 4 free gifts, and the reason why I wanted, because I'm a giver, and I believe that if you really want to get to know me, experience these gifts. So one is a complimentary session with me that I'd love to have a conversation with you and just assess where you are and see if we're a fit. And then there's 3 tips to get everything you want, which is a powerful, powerful piece. The 30-day challenge on how to have a better today, which is going to reprogram your mindset for 30 days straight. It's 3-minute inspirational videos. And then the last one is a webinar I did called Attitude Determines the Outcome. And all of these, Christine, are based on mindset practices and manifestation, and that you are truly responsible for everything that's showing up in your life. And all of those are focused on language. It's thoughts and it's feelings, but it's mostly language, because our words matter so much, and people have no idea what the stories that they're telling themselves and telling others about themselves. So that's why I wanted to give so much.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. But time with you just flies. But I'm glad that we will have a second interview so I can get deeper with you onto your sales mindset, and we can give people maybe some practical tips how to ask for money, or how to feel amazing doing though, or what might be blocking them. So I can't wait to get to the second interview with you.
Great.
Thank you so much for having been on Hard Sells, and I'm looking forward to continue the interview.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I just love Diane's message of I have today, and I hope you are inspired and empowered by it, and you are asking yourself, well, if I had today, what do I need to do to put a smile on my face? What do I need to do to make my heart sing? What do I need to do to give more value? And what do I need to do to allow myself to receive in return? Hop on over to christineschlonski.com, find the podcast tab, and tune into Diane's episode with the show notes, the transcripts, the key points, all the resources we're talking about, as well as all her social media links. It's only 1 click away. And once you're over there, you can also get your free download of the anniversary issue, which has the first 100 podcast episodes in it, with the titles, the name of the guests, and the 3 key points, so you can use it as a directory to really find either a special guest or a special topic, so that you can tune into that episode right away and know the number and where to look for it. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you tune in for the next episode, because we will have Diane back on the show, and we will be talking about the gift that you already have that comes to you with basically no effort. How you can set yourself up in your own life that you soar instead of crawling. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this beautiful world, and I'm saying bye for now.